Welcome to the weekly wrap up. And as much as I was so excited last week about reporting lower interest rates on the week, unfortunately, that is not my message this week. We do have higher interest rates this week than we did last week, ending the week about 0.25% higher. Monday and Tuesday were not great days, or excuse me, Tuesday and Wednesday, not great days for us. And interest rates moved across the board about 0.25% higher than where we ended last week. What was the reason? Inflation. You guys are all seeing it at the gas pump. I mean, 434, 450 almost. It's crazy. So that is the direct culprit of our interest rates going up Tuesday and Wednesday. So June is a big month for us because the federal reserve meets in June 15th, 12th through the 15th, I believe. They will be talking about raising the federal funds rate. Keep in mind that is not our mortgage rates. The federal funds rate is what governments or the banks borrow money from the government at. It also will increase home equity lines of credit, credit cards, car loans, things like that. But what will be very important is the Fed is also going to talk about balance sheet runoff. Now that will cause some impact in interest rates and it'll cause them to go up if they talk about that and say they're going to start doing that. So what that means is all through COVID, when they were buying all the mortgage-backed securities, now they're saying, hey, not only are we going to slow down very aggressively the buying of those mortgage-backed securities, we're going to take some of those mortgage-backed securities that are sitting on our balance sheet and we're going to sell them back into the market. And that is going to be problematic because it's going to have too much supply there, not enough demand. It's going to cause interest rates to go up. So we will be watching in June very closely to see what they say about that, because in general, when they raise the federal funds rate, our interest rates actually take a breather. But if they talk about selling these mortgage backs into the mortgage market again, all bets are off and rates will pop up. So this will definitely be the meeting that sets the tone for the rest of the summer. So we will be watching really closely. One last thing, float downs. I know in the last 2 weeks where interest rates have taken a little bit of a breather, we've gotten lots of calls from clients saying, hey, I know we're locked, but I want to take advantage. It looks like the interest rate went down a little bit. So here's how a float down works. And we are crystal clear on it. And I promise you, if there's an opportunity to give a client a float down, we are going to do it because nobody likes to call and give a client good news like we do. But unfortunately, it just hasn't come to fruition. A float down can happen when there is 100 basis points of movement from the day that they locked from the date of improvement, and we will do a float down. Unfortunately, 50, 60 basis points or maybe 1/8 of a point or something like that is not enough to break the contract of a lock agreement. And that is across the board. So trust me, we have alerts set in our systems that if there is someone that could take advantage of a float down, we are calling them, we are doing it, and we are telling them. But just because interest rates go down a little bit does not mean a client, if they've locked their interest rate, can secure a lower interest rate unless that float down feature has been in place. So much like we don't call clients and say, hey, I'm really sorry. I know you locked in, but the rate moved up a little bit. And I know we signed an agreement, but we are just kidding. We want to raise your interest rate. We can't do it the other way either unless there is that 100 basis point movement. So if you have clients that have questions, have them call us. I promise you, we'll talk them through it. We'll explain what they're seeing on the news, what they're seeing on some of the websites, and make them feel comfortable with what we are doing and how we're doing it. So again, any questions, let us know. Thanks for watching.